Hello, if we've never met before, my name is Keiya Rayne, and one of my greatest passions is teaching my clients how to reclaim their self-worth and power so they're able to become confident, competent, and effective leaders in their lives, relationships, and business with joy and ease. I want to talk about something today that, people don't really talk a whole lot about, but it is something that can dramatically transform your life. And that is forgiveness. I I was in a session with one of my spiritual mentors the other day, and yes, I said one of my spiritual mentors because I have more than one, and which is why I love doing the work that I do, because I know the power of mentorship and coaching, right? So we're in this session, and we were working on forgiveness, and I've been working on forgiveness for many years. But this time it went to a whole deeper level, and I thought, oh my goodness, I have got to share this. And so what I'm going to give you today is a 3-step formula for forgiveness. And I'm going to tell you a little story. Many years ago, I was having a really difficult time with my mother, so much so that I had decided that I was not going to speak to her again. And let me give you just a little bit of a background. She had sent me to live with a known molester, and when I had originally confronted her about why she had done that, she basically had nothing to say. And I left that conversation feeling just hurt and angry and really pissed off. And I came back to New York, and I thought, hey, you know what? I'm all good. I had created a really great life for myself despite what I had gone through, and I'm good. But now the secret thing here is that, or the piece of the puzzle here that a lot of times we miss, is that even though in our minds, we can say, oh yeah, I let that go, or I'm not going to speak to that person again, or even I forgive you, is that while we can put it out of our minds, we may not be able to put it out of our bodies. And so I was experiencing like excruciating back pain, so much so that I thought I was going to need back surgery. And I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and I said, you know what, that's it, I'm done. I am not speaking to my mom anymore. I want nothing to do with her. And he looked me dead in the eyes and he said, you are from your mother, but you are not of your mother. And when he said that, I mean, I had like a mic drop moment. Like I was stunned into silence. And at that time, it felt like a weight had lifted off my shoulders. And I thought, okay, I am going to interact with this woman from a completely different place. And that is step number 1 in the formula: compassion. And when I decided to engage again with my mom, I was coming from a place of compassion. I wanted to know, what made her do what she did? Like, what was her life growing up? What was her childhood like? And, what caused her to make the decisions that she made? And while having these conversations with her, I just learned and discovered so much about my mother that I had never known before. And what it did for me was it gave me a deeper level of understanding of where she not only came from, but I can see then from that place of why she did what she did and why she made the decisions in her life that she made. And so what compassion does is it allows you to create what I would call a clean slate, right? Because now you're not engaging with that person from a place of anger or revenge or resentment, but you're now in a space of listening in a different way. Because at the end of the day, forgiveness is more about you than it is about the other person. Marianne Williamson says, unforgiveness is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die, right? And so it creates so much toxicity in our bodies and just in our being. And, and being able to release that, I cannot begin to tell you the what I would consider like miraculous miraculous healing that comes from like true forgiveness. So step number one, compassion, right? Clean slate. I can hear you from a different place. I'm not attacking. I'm not seeking for you to give me something that you don't have. I am just here to receive. And once we come from that place, then step number two is gratitude, right? Because once we step into gratitude, it's completed. Your heart is now open. You're softer because now you're in this place where you can actually give thanks for the relationship, for the experience, for all of it. There's no blame. There's no victimhood. You're now free, and that is the energy that you step into, because now it's like you can breathe. It's funny. So many of us carry around all this heaviness in our bodies and in our being, and a lot of that heavy energy has to do with carrying anger and resentment towards the beliefs that we probably carry around that we were given when we were young, or experiences that we've had in relationships with our parents. I cannot tell you, taking my clients through the process of releasing whatever experiences they've had with their parents or partners is really transformed their lives, right? And so in this space of gratitude, I call it like you're free. And now, from the place of compassion, now you are in freedom and you're free in the space of gratitude. The final step is forgiveness, right? And now you know that forgiveness is complete because you no longer harbor, like you no longer have a charge to whatever that person has done to you or whatever was said to you. Like you're just, it doesn't affect you. Right? And so if you say you've forgiven someone and whatever you hear that person's name or you think of what they've done to you, and there's a charge, then you know that you have not forgiven at the core. And so you're still holding on to something. And those are the three steps that I wanted to share with you today, because the power and the energy of forgiveness, really, I had, also had a client that was very successful in his life and didn't realize that he was actually carrying, right, the if you will, a continued resentment and anger towards his parents, who were no longer here. They had transitioned. And when we worked together and we delved deeper into that forgiveness, he was able, and he didn't know this, and this is the tricky thing about forgiveness, right? Is that we may not even realize the impact that not forgiving someone or something have on our lives. And so by being able to forgive and release, we open up ourselves to really all of the, what I like to call the deliciousness of life that life has to offer. And so yes, in creating that space for my mom and I in the last 10 to, I want to say, like 12 years of my mother's life, we had an incredible relationship, and so many more that I will share another time that transpired during that, because I was now in a place of peace with her. And it created not only a healing for myself, but it also created healing for her, to set her free. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you found something that will inspire you and that will encourage you on your journey to forgiveness. Please feel free to leave a comment, and also I'd love you to subscribe to my channel. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.